Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ashley Empowers. I'm Ashley, and today I wanted to do a quick video on the 5 things marriage has taught me. So over the weekend, my husband and I celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary, and I just thought it would be a good idea to share some of the things that I've learned over the past 5 years for those of you that are currently married and those of you who are preparing to be married soon. So the first thing that I wanted to touch on is that someone else's marriage is not an indicator of the trajectory of our marriage. So one thing that I did early on in our marriage that was not a good idea was I would see like different pastors or couples that look like they had it all together. And when I saw their relationships fall apart, I would be like, oh my gosh, like if they can't stay together, what's the end result for us? You know what I mean? So I would allow other people's relationships to put fear in my heart. But something that I learned to stop doing was looking at other people's outcome as an indicator of our future. So it's important to understand that when you're married, you create your own story. You don't have to look at Jack and Jill. You don't have to look at Pauline and David. You create your own story. And honestly, that's really exciting to know that your relationship is up to you, because that cancels out what anyone else is doing, good or bad. So the second thing I wanted to mention is that your kids are priority, but not the number one priority. So I know you're listening and you're like, oh my gosh, like what is she talking about? Her kids aren't her number one priority. It's true, you guys. That's something that I've had to learn. But outside of my relationship with God, my husband is my number one priority, and then my children. So that's something that I struggled with early on in our marriage. So we've been married 5 years, have 2 children, and it is so easy to do things for your children or handle their desires or tend to them and take care of their needs. And next thing you know, you can look up and be like, oh my gosh, like my husband and I need some quality time. We need some me time. We need to go on a trip with just us, because when we take our kids on vacation, it literally does not feel like a vacation unless we have someone there helping us. So I really think it's important to know where your priorities are. And that's something that I've learned in marriage, that yes, our kids are our pride and our joy, but my husband is priority. And I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at this now. I literally work at this every day because I have my yummy little baby who I'm still nursing, who's with me all the time. But I'm being intentional on making my husband the number one priority outside of my relationship with God. So number 3 is do not sweat the small stuff. So what I mean by that is, man, y'all, when you get in a relationship with someone, that first 6 months to a year, when you're in like that infatuation phase, they can do nothing wrong. When you've been with someone for 5-6 years, you start to notice little things and they become huge things. And so one thing that I've learned to do is do not sweat the small stuff, because it's all small. And anytime that I get irritated in my relationship, or anytime where I feel discontent, I no longer look at the small stuff that my husband is doing, but I look within. I am a very introspective, self-reflective person by nature. So I'm always looking within, and I'm always observing how I'm feeling, or what triggered me, or what made me feel some type of way. I'm always looking within. And so one thing that I learned to stop doing is sweating the small stuff. Things aren't that important. It really doesn't matter. And it really just creates an environment of peace when you're able to make a mistake and not feel like it's going to be a war zone. So that's something that I've learned. So the next thing that I want to mention is having goals. So I'm a very goal-oriented person. And now that I've been married 5 years, something that has been working for us is every single year writing out our goals. So we have like a visionary meeting where we sit down for a dinner, we have our notebook and we have a pen, and we write down one goal for every category, from finances to our faith to our children to our self-development. We put one goal as a couple. I just see that it makes our experience so rewarding when we're working together for a common goal. So the last thing that I will mention marriage has taught me is breaking generational curses and really being intentional about my prayer life. So Carrington and I always say that our children are the best of both of us. And we're human. Our families are human, and no family is perfect. So we each have things in our families that we do not want to see manifest in our children's lives. So I've learned as a praying mother and a praying wife to break generational curses, to discern where things need to be covered in prayer. And I recommend that all women everywhere do the same thing, because there is power in a praying wife and a praying mother. And once you've broken those generational curses and once you cover your children in prayer, it's important that you look at your actions and make sure that your actions are lining up for what you're believing God for. So I wanted to share those things that marriage has taught me thus far. And I can genuinely say that over these past 5 years of being married, I have become a better person, and I am so internally grateful for it. I also wanted to mention that over this past weekend, I had 2 spots open up for the High Earning Housewife program. So the High Earning Housewife is a 3-month program where I teach all things money, all things business, and all things how to be a high earning helpmeet. That's something that I didn't mention in this video, but it is so incredibly important that you know how to manage your money, be the CEO of your home, and really be resourceful as a wife and as the overseer of your home. And so I have a program where I teach that for 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, I host a swanky and chic live Q&A dinner in Dallas and a full day business boot camp. This year, it's going to be phenomenal because I am bringing out a celebrity special guest who will be doing a training session during the full day boot camp. When I say it's going to be bomb, it's going to be bomb. So I wanted to let you know about it. I will link all the information in the description box below. And like I said, there's 2 seats that opened up. We get started tomorrow, which is August 6th. So you definitely want to take advantage if it's something that sparks your interest. And if for some reason you're watching this video after August 6th, still click the link in the description box, join the waiting list, because doors will be open again next year. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.